Okay, so have you ever had that feeling? You know,
Yeah.
that spark, you've got an idea,
Yeah.
maybe it's, I don't know, a side hustle that you've been sort of dreaming about or a creative project,
Oh, yeah.
or even just a way to kind of get yourself organized online, right?
Yeah.
But then, the thought of a website, that whole thing,
Right.
that can be a hurdle, can't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. That mental image
Yeah.
of all this complex code and just endless tech headaches, it can be a total roadblock.
Totally. Well, good news. Today, we're giving you a shortcut, right?
Yeah.
We're going to deep dive into getting a website up and running. And get this, incredibly quickly and without writing any code.
That's right. No code.
No code.
We found this guide. It's really interesting, and they actually suggest you can do it in about 10 minutes.
10
Sure.
minutes. I mean, come on, that sounds like an internet myth.
It does sound a little far-fetched, I know.
So for everyone listening, our mission today
Mhm.
is to see if this is actually legit, what the real key steps are.
Right.
And, at the end of the day, what are the best ways for you to get your ideas or your work online without getting bogged down in all that tech stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So the first thing that this guide really emphasizes is getting the foundation right. And it comes down to choosing the right website builder.
Yeah, think of these builders like they're your digital construction crew.
Uh-huh.
They give you all the materials, the tools, everything you need without having to become an architect or a
Right.
builder yourself.
Gotcha.
And the big thing here, the game changer, has been these drag and drop interfaces.
Yeah, drag and drop. I mean, it kind of explains itself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then you're clicking and moving stuff around.
Exactly. These platforms have, all these pre-designed elements, your text blocks, image holders, buttons, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And you can just grab them with your mouse and put them wherever you want.
Awesome.
This whole visual approach, it completely bypasses having to learn code
Right.
to define how your site looks.
I love
It's
that.
fantastic.
So this guide, it highlights 5 of the biggest names in the game.
The big players.
Yes, Squarespace, WordPress.com. Make sure you get that .com in there.
Yeah. Important distinction.
Shopify, and Webflow. And what's really interesting is, each of them seems to have a bit of a sweet spot.
Yeah, they each sort of cater to a slightly different primary need.
Yeah.
And thinking about your main goal for the website, it's going to make choosing the right one so much easier.
For sure. It's all about the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
So first up, according to the guide, we have Wix, which it says is best for personal websites and general business sites.
Right. Wix is great. They have a really wide range of templates,
Okay.
tons of flexibility, making it a really solid choice for all sorts of sites,
Yeah.
whether it's showcasing your hobbies or setting up like a basic online storefront.
Cool. Cool. Then we've got Squarespace, which the guide says is really well suited for portfolios and creative professionals.
Squarespace, yeah, they've definitely got that niche down with their beautiful modern templates.
Yeah.
So if you're a photographer, a designer, an artist, anyone who really wants to make their visual work shine, Squarespace is usually a perfect fit.
Awesome. Next up, WordPress.com. And again, got to emphasize that .com because it's a different animal.
All right, totally different from WordPress.org.
This one, the guide says, is great for blogs and websites focused on content.
It really is.
Yeah.
WordPress.com, it simplifies creating and managing written content.
Okay.
The interface is super user-friendly, designed specifically for blogging.
Nice.
And it's got all these built-in features for categories, tags, managing comments. It's just a really streamlined experience for sharing your ideas.
Awesome. Then we have Shopify, and this one seems like it's all about one thing.
Yeah, laser-focused,
Yeah.
online stores, e-commerce.
Exact.
Shopify is built for selling things online.
Gotcha.
It comes with everything you need: inventory tracking, secure payment processing, tools for managing orders and shipping. If you're selling goods, it's a great option.
Perfect. And last but not least, Webflow, which the guide highlights for, I guess you could say, design-centric websites.
Yeah, design focus for sure.
Okay.
Webflow lets you customize your design more deeply while still being a no-code platform.
Right.
It's popular with designers who want really fine-grained control over the visuals and layout.
Gotcha.
It's still no code, but it can be a bit trickier to learn than some of the others.
Okay, so let's make this a little more concrete.
Yeah, let's bring it down to earth.
Right. The guide gives a couple of scenarios. So let's say you want to showcase your awesome creative work, like a portfolio of your illustrations. The guide suggests Squarespace.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Their templates, they really let the visuals take center stage.
Yeah.
You often see these clean layouts that don't distract from the artwork itself.
Beautiful. Or let's say your goal is to, share your expertise, your insights, maybe even some recipes
Right, the classic blog.
through writing, a personal blog.
Yeah.
Then the guide points to WordPress.com as a really easy and quick way to do that.
Yeah, for getting written content up quickly and easily, it's fantastic.
So step one, it sounds like, is really about being clear on the purpose of your website.
Absolutely.
And once you have that, the platform choice becomes a lot less overwhelming.
So much less, yeah.
All right, so you got a sense of the different platforms. What's next? The guide calls this setting up shop, which sounds pretty painless.
It is, yeah. Signing up on these platforms is super user-friendly.
Well-
Usually just your name, email address, create a password.
Straightforward.
Basically like signing up for any online service.
And then comes what for some people can be, I think, a big decision,
Yeah.
picking a template.
Oh, yeah, the template, the foundation.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit about templates?
Sure, templates are essentially pre-designed frameworks for your website.
Okay.
Think of them like blueprints.
Okay.
They give you the basic layout, the visual style, often even some sample content that's relevant to different kinds of websites.
And the really cool thing is these templates aren't just random designs.
No, not at all.
They're tailored, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for different purposes.
You'll find templates specifically for portfolios, for businesses, blogs, online stores, you name it.
Wow.
This means you're not starting from scratch. You have this design that's already structured for what you want, which saves a ton of time and helps you look professional right away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The guide gives this example using Wix for a business website. Can you walk us through those initial steps?
Sure. So if you're using Wix for your business, you go to wix.com and you look for the Get Started button or something similar.
Right.
After you make your account, Wix will ask you what kind of website you're making.
Okay.
And I assume that narrows down the template options. Exactly, based on what you choose, in this case, business and services. You'll see a bunch of templates just for that.
Nice.
The guide mentions specifically picking the modern agency template.
And what makes that one a good starting point for a business?
Well, it's described as having a clean, modern, professional look, which is what a lot of businesses want. It probably has pre-designed sections for things like showcasing your services, testimonials, contact info.
Yeah, the essentials.
Exactly. So in a few clicks, you have this professionally designed foundation to build on.
I love that. Okay, so you've got your platform. You've picked a template that you like. Now comes the fun part, right?
Yeah, making it your own.
Customizing.
Yeah.
it. And this is where drag and drop really shines, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Once you've chosen your template, you'll see the website builder's editing interface.
Okay.
This is where you can change almost everything visually.
Right.
No coding required.
That's so cool.
You just click on what you want to change, like a text block, an image, a button, whatever.
Yeah.
And a bunch of editing options pop up.
Awesome.
So you can make your changes visually. It's super intuitive.
Let's talk about text, because that's like the heart of most websites.
Right, the words.
How easy is it to edit the text on these templates?
Super easy.
Okay.
You click on the existing text and you can just start typing like
Okay.
you're in a word processor. Change the words themselves, font style, size, color. It's all right there in front of you.
That's awesome.
The guide gives an example like taking a generic headline, "Welcome to our website,"
Yeah.
and changing it to something specific like, "Hello, I'm Alex, a freelance designer."
Yeah, that immediately makes it feel personal and targeted.
Exactly.
What about images? Websites are so visual.
Yeah, totally.
How easy is it to get rid of the stock photos and put in your own?
It's usually as simple as clicking on the image you want to replace.
Okay.
Then you'll see an option to upload your own images from your computer.
Cool.
Or, in a lot of cases, you can even connect to free stock photo libraries right there in the builder.
Nice.
The guide suggests for your About Me section, uploading a professional headshot,
Love it.
a great way to personalize and connect with visitors.
Now, beyond just changing the template, you'll probably want to add new pages.
Right.
What are the must-have pages for most basic websites?
The guide highlights 4. The home page, your main entry point, should tell people what your site is all about right away.
Yeah.
An About page, where you share your story, your background.
Connect with the audience.
Exactly. Then a services page, or a portfolio page, depending on your focus, to show what you offer.
Right.
And finally, a contact page, to make it easy for people to reach you.
Makes sense. Now, this ease of customization, it's not just a Wix thing, right?
No, not at all.
The guide mentions Squarespace as well.
Yeah, drag and drop is pretty standard across these no-code builders.
Okay.
With Squarespace, you click Edit, And you can change the placeholder text directly,
Okay.
like replacing our story with my journey as a designer
Yeah.
or whatever fits you.
I love that. So you've got the basic structure, you've added your own text, images. Now the guide talks about adding essential features.
Right, the things that make your website actually do stuff.
Yeah, what are some of the things that can really make a basic website better?
Well, one of the key things the guide mentions is a contact form.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, if someone's interested, you want them to be able to reach you easily.
Absolutely.
So a contact form lets them send you messages right through your website.
Without needing your email address.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Most builders make it simple to add these forms to your contact page.
Okay.
You can even customize what information they ask for.
Nice.
Another crucial thing is social media links
Oh, yeah, essential.
to connect your website to the rest of your online presence.
Right, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that.
Yeah, so people can follow you and stay up to date.
Makes sense?
You can usually add these links as icons in your header, footer, or sidebar.
Easy. The guide also mentions basic SEO, which can sound a bit intimidating.
Yeah, SEO, it stands for search engine optimization.
Good.
Basically, it's about making sure your website is set up in a way that helps search engines understand what it's about.
So Google can show it to the right people.
Exactly.
So like the little snippet of text you see in Google search results, that's the page title and description we're talking about.
That's it. And having those well written is key.
Yeah.
It's like labeling your content.
Okay.
Helps search engines understand each page.
Gotcha.
And it can really help people find your website.
So the guide has this WordPress.com example for adding a contact form. How does that usually work?
On WordPress.com and a lot of other platforms, you'll usually see an ad block button or something like that,
Okay.
often with a plus icon
Right.
clicking that opens up all these different elements you can add.
Like building blocks.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
So you'd search for contact form, select it, and boom, it's on your page.
Awesome.
Then you can usually customize it, add or remove fields, like the guide says, name, email, message, and so on.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So you've built your site,
Yeah.
added all the key features, and now the final step, according to the guide, is going live.
The big launch.
Yeah. It's like showtime.
It is. This is when your website becomes visible to everyone on the internet.
Wow.
You'll see a big publish or go live button.
Uh-huh.
Click that, and you're live.
The guide mentions that you usually have two choices for your website address, your URL.
Right, the address.
Can you explain those a bit?
Sure. The first one is a free subdomain,
Okay.
which means it's provided by the website builder, and their name is part of your address.
So like yourname.wixsite.com or yourshop.myshopify.com.
Exactly, like the guide mentions.
Okay, so it's free and easy, but maybe not as professional looking.
Right, it might not look quite as polished.
Gotcha. And the second option is a custom domain.
Yeah, that's where you get your own unique web address, like yourname.com.
Much more professional.
Yeah, more memorable, better for your brand, all that.
So how do you get a custom domain?
Well, you usually have to buy it from a domain registrar,
Okay.
and then you connect it to your site through your website builder.
Which usually means a paid plan.
Usually.
The guide has that Shopify example, clicking Publish Store, and you get your shop.myshopify.com. So that's the free subdomain in action.
Exactly. That's the default.
Okay.
Then they give you the options to connect a custom domain if you have one or buy one right there.
Now, to show just how fast this can be, the guide gives this example of making a personal portfolio in 10 minutes using Wix. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. So you go to Wix.com, sign up, and then the key is choosing the right template category, in this case, portfolio, and then specifically a designer portfolio template,
Gotcha.
which is already set up for showing visual work.
Okay.
Then you quickly change the title to something like Alex's Design Studio, upload your design work samples, and add a contact form.
Okay.
Hit publish, and you have a live portfolio with a Wix subdomain like alexdesign.wixsite.com.
Wow. So in theory, someone with zero coding skills could have a working portfolio up in like the time it takes to make coffee.
Yeah, that's the idea behind these no-code builders.
Amazing.
And for a simple site like a portfolio, it's totally doable.
Now, the guide also has some pro tips for making this even faster,
Oh yeah, some really good ones.
like time-saving hacks. The first one is all about AI website builders.
Yeah, these are really interesting.
So how do they work?
They use AI to build a website for you.
Automatically.
Yeah, based on some info you give.
Wow.
The guide mentions Wix ADI, which stands for Artificial Design Intelligence.
So it's like you tell the AI what you want, and it just does it.
Pretty much.
That's wild.
You answer some questions about your business or your goals,
Okay.
the type of content, your style preferences,
Gotcha.
and the AI uses that to suggest a layout, choose images, even write some initial text.
So cool.
It's a super fast way to get a very basic version up and running.
What's the second pro tip?
It's about being efficient.
Okay.
Most builders have these libraries of pre-designed sections.
The building blocks.
Exactly. Things like service lists, testimonials, contact info sections, image galleries.
Yep.
Instead of creating them yourself, you just drag and drop them in.
I love that. That would save so much time.
Right. All you do is customize the content within that section.
What's the last tip?
Using free stock image libraries.
Makes sense.
A lot of builders have these integrations with sites like Unsplash,
Uh-huh.
which have tons of high-quality, free-to-use images.
So you don't have to go out and buy images.
Yeah, exactly. Huge time saver, especially when you're starting out.
So it seems like getting a basic website online quarterly and without coding is totally possible for just about anyone,
I really think so, yeah.
thanks to these awesome platforms.
Yeah, they made it so much easier.
And now you can focus on sharing your work with the world.
Exactly.
And while we focused on that initial launch today, remember, it's just the beginning.
Right, it's a starting point.
You can always improve your design, add more features, and grow your presence over time.
It's a journey.
So here's a thought to leave you with.
Okay.
What's that one thing, that idea, that project, that skill you've been wanting to share, but the thought of a website held you back?
Yeah.
And now that you know it could be just a few clicks and 10 minutes away, what's really stopping you?
Good question.
It's time to share your awesome with the world.
Go for it.
We'll be back next week with another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye for now.